Just another day TV.
Welcome back, y'all. Man, unfortunately, I didn't get the first 15 seconds of the podcast with narrator, but the first question I asked was, how did it get started for you? Let's get into it. Like and subscribe.
You got served. You ever seen that?
My fault.
I
I'm
think
muting myself.
you good.
My
You
fault.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we watched that and it was crazy because my cousin Reggie, shout out to him. He
Yeah. Shout out to Reggie.
he was like, yo, what if we all grew up in here to be rappers? And I already loved music at that point. Like I had a electric piano. My uncle grabbed a guitar for me out of the trash can on the way to my house one day. And all my grandpa and my uncles, they all play guitar and shit too. So it's like my life has always been musical. But when my cousin said that, it was like bet. Like literally we started like just trying to find out like all right, how we making beats and everything like that. Plus my uncles would go into in and out of studios, but I wasn't a part of that life with them just yet. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Shout out to David Ford too, man. That was another
Okay.
thing that inspired me. David Ford, he has a clothing line, designer line, based out of here in Cleveland. He used to have a studio called 3D Studios that was at Randall Park Mall.
I remember
Before
Random Paul Mall.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember. There used to be like a big painting, like some rappers. If I'm not mistaken, like I don't know if one of them was like supposed to be Biggie or like Big Pun or maybe both of them. But it said 3D record, or it could have been Dude himself. But it was like 3D recording studios, and I just remember like my uncle he like had went up in there and he was telling me like, yeah, that's a studio right there, da, 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 da. And I was like, what? Like right there where we
Yeah.
come all the time.
Yeah.
So just like when it came to that moment when my cousin said like, what if we all grew up here to be rappers and shit? And it's just like it just
Clicked.
yeah, like for me it really did click. Like out of everybody,
Just
I'm the
like he
one
was
that's still
speaking into
doing it.
you.
Yeah,
I
like at
got
the end of
you.
the day, I'm the one that's still doing it out of everybody. Not to say that like they all quit or nothing like that. It's just like that
But
helped me step into my calling for real, for real.
because even from that age, man, you was moving towards people that had the same goal as you. Even if
Yeah.
they didn't take it as serious, you do, and
Mm.
you'll put in the work just to get the experience and work with different people from 12 to 13 years old, bro. If you're walking
Yeah.
around with your studio in your bag, like
You
nobody
know what's
else is doing
crazy?
that.
It's funny because I tell people that all the time, and they look at me like I'm lying. But this is the proof right here. Because that was over in your neighborhood too. Like
Yep,
I would be.
Cherry
It didn't
Village,
matter
Seneca.
whose apartment, whoever the fuck would let me set up, and we'd do music at their spot.
Yeah.
All right, we're there.
And you always find m- mine alike, that people that's aligned with you and
Yeah,
do your thing. You had the sports people, you had this, but you was always music. If there's an
yeah,
extra thing at school for music production, guess where you was at?
yep,
You getting
exactly.
that, which is
I,
was great to see, man. And you're still in love with music, which is amazing.
yes, all
Because a
glory
lot
to
of people,
God, man. I'm thankful because like that's one thing I want to point out most definitely. All glory is to God when it comes down to this, because like when like I look at things that seem improbable, like there's a way that's made, and not to push my views on nobody or nothing like that, but I'm extremely just like blessed for real to be able to do what I do. Like even back then, like teachers that was just like, you wasting your time with this music thing. And like to keep it real with you, like there's years where I clear their salary. You know what I mean?
it's
Like
like, yeah, God is
just
good for real.
with nothing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
starting from nothing too. And like so it's definitely a hassle of things. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to turn your passion into work and things of that nature. But you saw
yeah,
me
bro. I
earlier
saw
on. So like
from
you
the
know,
ground, like literally, that was it right there.
yeah.
And it's crazy you said Seneca Fulton, man, because years later, that's where I moved, and I didn't know where that's where a lot of people was from. Because the first place I came to America was Brecksville. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I was confused. Years later, I moved like, yo, this is where I always hear about the West Side of Cleveland, shit like
Yeah,
this. So it
yeah.
was, it was, it was a full circle moment at that young age.
Welcome to the West.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember when you had moved over there too and shit.
it's
Yeah,
crazy. It was
good
man,
days.
they thought Brecksville was a culture shock, man. Moving to the West Side was a fucking culture shock.
Yeah, I bet. Like, okay, so because you came, like if I'm not mistaken, you came from
Oh,
the islands
yeah, straight
straight
to
straight
Brecksville.
to Brecksville. So like
Yeah.
that was that. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of
Yeah.
segregation that was there too.
Yeah,
So like,
that was but
It
that I
wasn't as
was
much of a
around.
melting pot.
Yeah, in the neighborhood, it was a
Yeah.
melting pot. So I was good. You know, you go to school, you do your
Right
thing.
there was cool. Yeah, right
Yeah.
there was cool. But the
So that
city
was good.
itself, you know what I'm saying? You might
When I
walk past a
went,
car and they go
all
ka-choom, ka-choom, all the locks
all,
hit on that shit.
all the different type of Hispanics or Latinos,
Hmm.
Latina, it
Yeah.
was crazy going to Lincoln West for the first time from Brecksville. Man, boy.
That's a
it,
definite switch, bro. That's a
yeah.
definite switch.
Yeah. So all right, here's my first question, man.
Hmm.
Where do you think the state of hip hop is?
I think it's in a renaissance state right now, to be honest. A lot of people aren't looking at it that way because they're kind of comparing it like on the commercial and capitalist side of it.
Okay.
But just keeping my ear to the ground as far as people I worked with, like currently working with, and just because it's more than a music genre, right? You know, hip hop is a culture. So that's what I mean by like the renaissance of
Yeah.
it. And I feel like more of it has to do with finding ways to deliver this art form to people without these devices. Albeit that these things have helped us connect with the world and everything like that. I feel like it's time to move to a more authentic approach. You know what I mean? And that's not just like
So
performances, things of that nature.
are you
Like
talking like getting back to physical selling copies and stuff of that nature, or
there's that. So like that's on the like on the monetary side because like we have another solution for physicals right now that's not CDs, it's not vinyls and nothing like that, and
okay,
it's something that can go right into people's phones where they'll have ownership of the tracks and kind of bringing back that nostalgia of like when you used to make a mix CD for somebody. Like this is a
man?
playlist. This is a playlist of all the songs I like, and
Yeah,
that kind of got robbed from us just in
hmm
music in general when streaming came along. You know what I'm saying? It
that's
wasn't like
facts.
you'd create a playlist,
You
but if you
can't
don't got
curate.
Apple Music,
Yeah,
you
people
can't
don't curate
fucking
their own music no more. Like from the iPod, like what you want. You don't
yes.
have this much gigabytes, and this
Yeah.
you gotta put your top
Yep.
in. Nobody does that. And I look back in the day, someone's
Prioritizing.
iPod. Yeah, somebody iPod tell a lot about them, bro.
Oh yes,
Tell
for
a
sure.
lot about.
Yeah. And that was a cool thing because like for real, if somebody did pass you that MP3, like you'd be like, oh snap, you got this song? It's
Facts.
different. Music
Yeah.
was music held a different value and things like that. But also I don't want the where the state of technology is at to take away from what hip hop actually is and what it's done, you know what I'm saying, over
Yeah.
the years and can still do like moving the culture forward. So like I feel like the state of hip hop is in a good state. It's in a renaissance because I feel like that renaissance isn't a televised one. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
more so like there's so many communities that are really starting to click and get it. And they're like, whoa, I've
Do you
been
think?
looking for global validation when there's people that are looking for me, you know what I'm saying, for my music. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
be in the sea of ignorance and like
Do you
fake
think
it
it's
till I make it.
moving to like a more of an underground? Like it's your cult is your cult. May say like everybody's moving towards that. It's not just listen to mainstream. They're moving back to
Yeah,
local, more closer, more understanding stuff, and not the same rubbish
for sure. Like, cause
repurpose.
you look at it like this, like the supply and demand of these two things. The supply of accessibility is oversaturated. Anything can be accessible.
True.
What's in demand is exclusivity, things that everybody doesn't have. And that's just from people that care about the things that they're getting. And
Yeah.
albeit that might be a small percentage, you know what I mean? Like it's better to focus your intentions, you know what I'm saying, as a musician, and a band, artist, whatever, DJ, focus your intention exclusively to those that are showing support. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's people that break down the math all the time. And like just to break down, like if you were to have a song that's streaming on Spotify and you get 100 million streams, you know what I mean? You're getting $40,000, or not. If it's 100 million streams, you'll get $400,000, which
Okay.
is not a lot. For you would think that you should be sitting on something
Racks.
significant.
Yeah.
So that same power, I'd say, like, and I know marketing gets you there, all these different things, but like if you were just to atone that into a project that you could sell to your fans for $5 a pop, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
You would only need to clear 100,000 of those, but like they'd be like, oh yeah, that's something that's like impossible and unheard of doing as an independent artist. Well, like you will
People
always be
doing
proven
it.
wrong on your doubts. Because guess who's
Yeah.
doing that right now? You got Lil Russell.
Yep.
I think
As
I
the
think
same. People
I, th- I,
doing
th-
it.
I think he's like on like 11,000 now, or no,
Yeah.
no, he just got 11,000 from
And Lil
Kyrie
Russell's
Irving.
the guy that does the backyard.
Yep. He
Yep.
he brought exclusivity, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rather than being focused, a lot of people don't know this, but his first deal was with Russ.
Mm.
Russ, the independent
Yeah.
artist.
Encounters. Yeah.
He was gonna be touring with Russ and everything like that, and they kind of came to the conclusion where and Russ was like, "Yo, dude, like you kind of don't need this shit. You got this shit right here. I think you should just build what you have here in your
Hey,
backyard
and you
and
don't
just
have
keep."
that realness in the grand scheme of the bigger game. They
Yeah,
say.
and
So
that's the thing is that like yeah, you can't connect with people on that level. You know what I mean? Like you, let's say you're 6, 7, 8, 9, like you're under the age of 11 years old,
okay.
and you go to a concert in a dude's backyard, but this dude's known
Yeah.
worldwide. That changes your perspective on
Facts.
reality. Now you're
Facts.
looking you're
You feel
looking
like a
at
VIP.
you're looking at things like they're way more obtainable
Then
than
yeah.
the average Joe would, because they'd be like, "Oh, that could never happen to me." You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
But
my
it's
neighbor. You doing this next door?
yeah,
Type shit.
exactly. And so like bringing that community together, like which I have to shout out my brother Eli Moon. Like he's been doing a lot of shows like back to back in the city in the city of Cleveland,
Yeah.
and like just bringing a lot of people together who otherwise would have never met, never collabed. You know what I'm saying? Bringing opportunities to people. Like he put himself to the side for a second. You know what I mean? Was like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we need? Like this is something that we're actively seeking in the city. Let me
Hmm.
create it. Let me go ahead and build that. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
that it's
The
existing
bigger.
now. You know what I
You
mean? People
seeing the
can.
bigger picture
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So
because it will come back 10 time fold. You know.
yeah, community is everything.
In
Community is
fact.
everything. If you
Uh-huh.
you can go ahead and have a million people following you. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
that don't mean that you could fill up a stadium or even a small size venue. Like those people might not even be following you for your music. You know what I'm saying? So like this the vanity metrics and stuff kind of gets in the way of like what you're actually capable of. Like I know millionaires that have 800, 900 followers. like like
That is true. That is
it's
true.
it's it's a, such a different balance of things. You know what I mean? What people
Mm.
spend their time doing, but like, but yeah, it's
Right.
I forgot what the initial question
It's
was.
a
I'm
state of
not gonna
hip
lie.
hop. You explained
Yeah,
it. You expound on it. It's in a renaissance stage, and
yeah,
everything you said makes sense within that. So,
yeah. So
AI, and music. This is the last one. We'll just do this last one because it's 15-minute quick convo.
gotcha.
AI. What do you think about AI in music? You had said something within the message when I mentioned it.
hmm
So, how you feel about AI in music,
So
especially
again,
with the AI artists? So,
yeah. So like, okay, I'm gonna bust a hole open. Something I didn't talk to you about yesterday.
okay.
Like I was scrolling on TikTok. This is like 2, 3 months ago, and came across this page. And like, not gonna lie, I'm a little offended at what was happening on it,
Uh huh.
because it's a page full of AI artists, but they're talking about niche subjects, and I'm talking about like mental trauma bonding subjects. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
yeah.
like just things where you're like, I know somebody's gonna hear this and resonate with it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
feeling on it, like the most propagandish but slick. Like it's so snaky. That's the way I was looking at it. Cause there was a whole page, but like a label of AI artists, but people didn't know that these were AI artists. They actually
Uh,
they couldn't distinguish the difference, and they're like, "Where do I find this song? Duh, 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 duh. Like, when are you
I think
releasing another
everything
one?"
AI needs a label, man. Everything that's AI needs
Yes,
its own label.
yes, it definitely does. It definitely does. And there's another thing that Suno just changed its terms and services yesterday, so that's
Oh,
perfect that we're having this conversation.
interesting.
Is that they are the full owners of anything that you create, even if you're on a paid plan now. The
Oh,
rights, the language, a part of their terms and conditions, that
yeah,
language where you owned some of the track, that is
yeah,
now gone. You can now be a party that was putting something together with it, but whatever
yeah.
they generated, they are the full creator of that
Oh,
work.
so
So like
why would you bleed? Damn.
essentially they become a work for hire. So like
Yeah. Huh.
but not like they become a work for hire, but like they treat that relationship like that in a way to where they still keep the master
It's,
composition of whatever
so they
they
keep the
create.
masters and the publishing for anything you create on Suno.
Yeah,
And
and,
there's
and
no
and if it's just straight up Suno, 100%.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
So do you use any AI in your music or like
No.
implement it in any of your projects?
So the closest I would say that I use the AI like in my actual creative process is stem separation. So if I'm separating
Okay.
stems from something like a song from the 60s or the 70s,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and I'll separate stems. Like I like those drums. I want to
You
get
just
those
want to
drums out
separate
of
and
there,
take
or
it.
I
Yeah.
want that bass line or something like that. So that's like as a tool like that. I don't want it to think for me. I don't
Yeah.
want it to give me ideas. Nothing like that. Like I'm cool in that realm in that department. Like I'm not lacking any kind of creativity here
Hmm.
and there. Like I think that
So
all the ideas
yeah.
that I haven't acted on yet. Like it's just a
Hmm.
skill level where I'm like, okay, once I get to this level, then I'm gonna start putting these parts together. Like whereas AI, it takes away from that process. Unfortunately, like because somebody can go ahead and skip to a result that they think is like ultimately feeding their creativity. You know what I mean? But you're skipping steps of understanding what's actually happening.
And that's what I was going. So you had mentioned like some people bring like the half AI. I'm like, yo, this is what the sound I'm looking for.
Yeah.
How do you
Yep.
work with that?
So this is from a quite a good amount of individuals who have like hit me on this front because like I do like primarily custom work
Yeah.
for people. So like
Hmm.
if you come to me for like with an idea in the studio, if you're singing a song to me right then and there, I'll make a beat around your song. Like
Okay.
right there on them in the moment,
Yeah.
like because it's better that way. I feel like I can connect with the conclusion of what we're going for a lot better. So I've been brought some AI songs, like some generated AI tracks, and you could just kind of tell in the artifacts that like these are musicians and artists themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
you could tell in the artifacts like, yeah, this isn't something I could just pass for just being something that I could put out there and be proud of.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like in a way, it has benefited me in the slight of people using it to come up with a concept to then bring to
Okay.
me so that we can bring it to life with originality. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep the same key,
Put the
we'll keep
soul in it.
yeah, we'll keep the same key, same BPM, you know what I mean? But like we're trying
Yeah.
to create something new. Now there are situations like in these instances, I charge a lot more because it doesn't allow me to look. I'll charge you less for more how creative you let me be. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But if
Yeah.
you got me down to a T, so like these AI generators, they don't exactly follow the formula of how certain songs are made, especially pop
Mm.
songs. They will make up their own rules in the middle of like it'll be like right before a bridge and it'll be like a drop. That's a 2 bar drop, which just does not
Okay.
make sense. Like 4 bar drop would be cool, but like 2 bars, like
Okay. Dun,
and
dun.
like it's
Yeah.
weird shit like that. And like
Okay.
just if it's certain, if it's very intricate, then I'm like, okay, like this one's gonna be a little bit of an upcharge. But it's not my preference to work on that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I will gladly do it. But there's
I
other
do.
people that bring me AI and they'll let my creativity run wild. You know what I'm saying? And like I can be like, okay, this concept is cool. Forget about that concept because now I'm about to bring you something that's closer to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got you.
And something I could hear you on. But yeah, it has its pros and its cons. And like I said too, it drives up the supply of accessibility and the saturation of accessibility, and also at the same time drives up the demand for exclusivity. And that's amongst people who really care about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's where we're a lot of musicians and DJs and producers who are like discussing this stuff right now, who are like having like hissy fits about this stuff right now. It's gonna well, one, the hissy fits aren't gonna like stop anything from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, two, let this take its course. We know how mankind is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people are
Always picking
going
up.
to do things. They're gonna mess with things. We thought everybody was gonna be in VR headsets 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Facts.
You
With the
know,
Oculus and shit. Yeah, that's true.
and everybody that I know that has an Oculus, like personally, like doesn't even use it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Or
it's like
they at home.
that's the thing is that like if when something is new, you know, people are gonna jump on it real fast. But like
Mm-hmm.
the one part that does kind of hurt the marketplace is these labels and these fully like thousands of generated songs being uploaded daily to digital service providers. So it's just like, you know, that part I can understand because it's
Do
like,
you do you think that's gonna help push the market back to more of what you were saying earlier, where it's
yes, yes, 100%.
close knit? Yeah, okay. So it's kind of
100%.
benefit for artists, in the long run.
And that most definitely, like, because yeah, it's like real art is appreciated. Now there's gonna be some
Oh
people that
yes.
argue and be like, oh, the AI stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it can do some very cool things. Like even the agentic things that you could do with AI, what I'm saying, the coding and all of that. But
Hmm.
everything does have another reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's that good, use it in moderation. You don't want it to take over your whole life. But things
Facts.
are going in a certain direction anyways. Best thing is to build your skills up without the
And
fear
work
of being
around it.
replaced. You don't got a fear of being replaced, man. Like I highly doubt like 5 years from now everybody's gonna turn on creatives
Because
and
how is a fucking AI artist gonna go on tour? We're gonna watch virtual artists now on tour.
like that's another thing too, is that music is an element of feeling. You know what I mean? Like this is included in everything that we do. And companies, big name companies, they're not dumb. They understand feeling is a part of marketing, emotional branding. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if they
Yeah.
can't trigger you emotionally with something, like they understand it's not going to
It won't.
work. So
Yeah.
even for the when it comes down to like sync placements and stuff, like I don't know if you hip to that. So like sync is when
Mm-mm.
you get your music on TV,
Okay.
commercials and things of that
Yeah.
nature. And a lot of people had like fears that oh, now these companies can just generate their own music. And it's like, no, they're not even going to even attempt to do that. Some might, that don't understand the psychology of marketing. Those aren't Fortune 500 companies or anything
Yeah.
even close. But like when it comes down to the psychology in marketing,
Yeah.
music always sells something. You haven't watched any ad and been like, "Oh yeah, that seems interesting," and there not been music behind it,
Facts.
unless it was Morgan Freeman narrating that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they
Facts.
had to include an element of grit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like
Facts.
stature.
Facts. That voice. Yeah. Yeah. That's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
The God.
exactly.
The
Like,
God voice.
yeah, no, just a reverb, slap a
Yeah.
reverb on that, call it a day. We don't need
Yeah.
no music.
Facts.
Like,
Facts. Because Progressive got one of the hottest songs out for a commercial, the Dog Park song. I don't know if you ever heard
yeah.
it's
And
fucking
and it's so
catchy.
simple. It's so simple. It's so dumb too. It's a dog park, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hitting you. And that's
Yeah,
the
man. They need to
AI can't do funny things like
facts.
that. Like,
True.
and there might be somebody that see
Can
now.
program one or two,
I'm
but
too smart for this stuff sometimes, so
mm,
I don't like to put this out into the universe. But I know somebody's probably already working on it. But
okay.
the only way you could make a convincing AI that can actually tap into the feelings is if you trained an AI, but you simulated it through a whole lifetime of trials and tribulations, like real stuff, and you trained it on the data that it learned just from being online and like you're
I feel
Erica.
I
You're
feel like they're
Erica
doing that
for,
already, man. I feel like they're doing that already.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that,
Yeah.
that would be where it would come into that, where it has a whole story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and if you were
But then
interviewing
again,
this,
it's still gonna be coming from like a third person point of view because they're not really living. you
right?
know? But yeah.
Exactly. No,
But hey.
that's 100%. That's 100%. So yeah, like in my in my highest regard, I wouldn't like to see this being done,
Hmm.
but I've seen this coming for a long time. Like I've been telling people about this possibility like for over 10 years now, and it's here. But it's yeah, like I said, if we just focus on the craft, like all that noise doesn't even matter, dude. Like
Got you.
feel is everything. You know what I'm saying? And I could just be
Facts.
talking out of my own lens. Like there's some people who
No,
don't
that's
care.
true.
They'd be like,
Music
ah,
is feel, bro. Like
yeah,
music wave, they say it like different sound wave, different BPM, attack, make you react different. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Treat you
yeah,
different. You hear something sonically, you might get sued or something. Right? It's true. It's true. They've been saying music control us forever.
yeah.
So
And so that's another thing too, is that like if we take our projects and we bring them to other marketplaces that aren't in the streaming world, just to
hmm.
remind people that there's another way to enjoy music.
Hmm.
One app that we're partnered with right now is Untitled in Brackets. That
Okay.
like you should download it. It's super
Untitled
cool.
in brackets.
Um, and like what you're able to do, you're able to store music on it, like music that
Yeah.
you get. And I got a free album that's in my link in my bio, like
Mhm.
that people can get started with if they wanted to check it out. But you get to save it, You get to share it with anybody. And what's cool about it, like the link that takes you to the album, you could listen to the album from your browser, exit your browser, and the album will continue playing.
Still in the back bay. Okay.
So
That's
no need to give your
that
information, your
is
data.
smart. Yeah, that is smart
You
because
have it. You have it
a
now.
lot of a
So
lot of time you get off the Chrome tab in your on your phone, whatever
yeah.
is playing in the background is done.
Yeah. And
That is
they
so
have
smart.
code built in to keep that running in your RAM
That is
while
so
you're
smart.
doing anything else. Yeah. But the app also is not invasive at all. Like you can just like sign up with your phone number, no
Yeah.
password, nothing like that.
What is it
You
called
don't even have
again?
to sign up. It's
Untitled in bracket.
yeah, untitled in brackets. So like it's
Oh,
untitled
untitled in brackets.
in brackets. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's an awesome app, man. You're so if you wanted to pay for the app, and I'm not a paid sponsor, so you don't got to put this on this
No,
clip.
you're
But
good.
if you wanted to, like it's like $7.99 a month. The things you're able to do with the music you listen to. So if you like
Hmm.
chopped and screwed music, if you want to hear something a different way, like it has a whole interface in there where you can mess with the music, put your favorite part on loop. If you're a
Okay. I see
dancer,
what you're saying. I see. It's like
it'll
that thing Kanye created a couple years ago,
yes,
the
yes,
STEM Lab thing.
yeah, the stem player. Yep,
STEM
yep.
player. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I
And
see what you're saying.
he came out with something that like if five of the other top artists in the world at that time had they just like followed along with their own thing, it would have caught like wildfire. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're trying to do with Untitled. Like I got
That's
homies in LA that's dropping on it, homies in New York that's dropping
and
on it. You know
sometimes
what
I
I'm saying?
just want to hear the acapella. I ain't gonna lie. I go on YouTube and I just want acapella. I don't want no beat. I just want to hear
Yep.
some, some shit.
Straight up. And you can
Very
even
much.
lower the pitch of it, like have it go
Yeah,
slowed on some like, yo, this is
yeah,
my favorite. I'm
that's
about to have
fire.
this part playing through my house while I clean.
Next
Like
time we
whatever.
come, if we come on next time, we're gonna have that pop up, and you just walk us through some shit and show us how it done.
Oh yeah, most
Uh,
definitely. I got you.
all
That'd
right,
be
bro.
cool.
AJ, where can everybody find you, brother? Well, just my bad, narrator. Where can
You all
everybody
good, you all
find
good.
you, bro?
It's a family name. So yeah, and all platforms, NARR number 8R. Yeah.
All right, bro.
I try to answer DMs as quick
Yeah.
as possible if you want any services, but
Facts.
yeah, it's best is to get
Hit
my
him up.
number. To
Hit him up.
be the
Makes
first
fire
thing.
beats and everything.
But yeah, man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you having
I
me on too,
appreciate
man. Thank
you.
you. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
man.
having me, brother.
Bless up, brother. Thank you for stopping by. More life.
Yes, sir.
Just another DTV.